2 minutes to showtime. 2 minutes to showtime. 120 seconds. I guess we're starting.
It's like everything you could wish for. It's like an opera singer covered in bees. It's like hearing your favorite song while you eat your favorite cheese. It's funny songs and funny stories. It's songs in the key of funny. Funny songs and the stories behind them.
That's right. Welcome back to Songs in the Key of Funny. You're joining us at Flappers Comedy Club for the Songs in the Key of Funny podcast. I'm your host, Kristin Key. With me, as most always, is the Gabrielle to my Xena, the Willow to my Buffy, the Scully to my Mulder. It's Shaun Fisher, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody. Hi.
Is that enough 90s references today?
I'll take 2 more next week.
Next week we'll give a few more. I was going to say my Christina Yang to my Meredith Grey.
Oh, I know
yeah,
that reference.
Yeah. So then we're getting really close. And this week we're so excited to have our guest, Jackie Loeb, is on stage with us.
Wow, I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, not half as excited as we are. We've been sitting here chit-chatting for the last 30 minutes getting set up with our sound, so I know it's going to be so exciting. You're not half as excited as we are. But anyway, and again, a big special thank you to Flappers Comedy Club for letting us have the podcast here. To Barbara Holiday, yes. People always go nuts when I say her name. And also, she brought me birthday balloons today because it's my birthday.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It's my birthday, and she showed up with these balloons. And just the way that the world worked today, I wasn't planning on doing anything for my birthday, so I woke up this morning just like I'm going to celebrate later in the week. And so I didn't have any birthday cards. I didn't have any birthday breakfast. I just no mention of it. And so when she showed up holding balloons, it was, you know.
You remembered it was your birthday.
I remembered it was my birthday, and it was really special. And she gave me a birthday card with some cats on it, and then I just lost it because I sure do like cats. So this year, for our classic song of the week, because we always, on this show, we like to honor the musical comedians working today, like Jackie Loeb, and but we also like to nod our hats and pay tribute to musical comedians of the past who have written some amazing songs. Oh, before we
hold
get
on to that for 1 second,
if you're listening, Barbara Holiday is handing me a slice of chocolate cake, and our classic song of the week this week is by the Arrogant Worms, and it's the Happy Happy Birthday song. And without infringing on any copyright laws, let me blow out this candle real quick. I'm gonna make a big wish. Okay, we'll see. I'll have to buy all new bras. All right. So the classic song of the week this year, Happy Happy Birthday song by the Arrogant Worms, and their version's a little different. I'm gonna play a little bit jazzier. It goes a little something like this. Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. And the whole clan gathers around, and gifts and laughter do abound. And we let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over. Happy birthday, you did not accomplish much, but you didn't die this year, I guess that's good enough. That is the Happy Happy Birthday song by the Arrogant Worms, and that is our classic song of the week. Classic song of the week. A classic song of the week. Classic song of the week. Classic song of the week.
Still want to hear it?
Oh my God, this is going to be such a good show. So joining us on stage, we have Jackie Loeb. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, I think I may have ruined in your opening song.
No, you did
I
not.
just was jamming on that C, and my
You made it better. You made every second
better.
better. And I'm gonna ask you a few questions, but I gotta eat this cake first. So I'm gonna
Right, you can't just have
right
it
off
sitting
the
up here
bat.
for an hour.
I couldn't. I'd be devouring it.
play us an original just to show.
Song. Okay, I'm going to play a song that I wrote when I was like 20 because I found I was at my most profound and prolific at 20. Because now I'm not as prolific because there's nothing to write about. I'm 45 and I've kind of run out of I can't write songs about going to Ralph's or watching cat videos or talking about swollen. Well,
I would listen to
Kristen's
all
like,
of those.
"Here's mine."
Write a song about me eating
or
cake.
swollen feet. So here's a lovely song, and it's about. I'll set it up because it doesn't need to be set up. It's about my stomach, because when I was younger, I was very self-conscious about my stomach. And you're meant to interject now and say, oh, but you don't have a stomach. Your stomach is beautiful.
My
You're
mouth is full of
fantastic."
cake. I'm so sorry.
So here is my song. Hopefully I remember how to play it. I can can tell by the way you look at me, you wanna see my tummy desperately. I can tell by the way you look at me, you wanna see my tummy desperately. I know you wanna see my tummy, wanna poke fun at my tummy, wanna ridicule my tummy. You think it's so funny having such a big tummy. You think it's funny having a tummy. I can tell by the way you're fidgeting that you'd rather that I. That bit's a bit boring, so we'll take it to the bridge. We'll jump to the bridge. People treat me like I'm a dummy just because I have a big tummy. They say I look kind of funny just because I've such a big tummy. They think it's funny having a tummy. No. Song hasn't dated in 25 years. It's still so timely. It's a classic. Yeah! It's a classic that never dates, just like me. Amazing.
It's a classic that never dates. Oh my God. So let's talk a little bit about your guitar playing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
quite modest
You
in
said
Australia.
it. You said it. Yeah.
I'm quite good.
Oh, you're Australian.
Yes,
okay.
that's
Well,
that.
we
There's that
need to
too.
cover
the
too.
The novelty stuff about being female and being a rock star guitarist and Australian and 45. There's no other 45-year-olds in LA.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
I've never seen
I'm the
one.
It's
oldest
like
one
Blade
here.
Runner. They have to like leave.
It feels like that.
They bust 'em
Well, I
out
had
of
to move
town.
out of West Hollywood and now I'm in the Valley, so there's some indication of how things work here.
How long have you been in this country?
Way too long.
Yeah.
Almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
In fact, I talk about it in my act. Literally what happened was I was in Sydney, where I'm from, and I was getting a little bit bored, and I don't know why my voice has dropped an octave since we've been doing the show, but it just has.
Make it sexy.
It's
I'll play some sexy music behind
it's
it.
I'll do my American accent over it. It's like my performance voice, and like my friend was like, I was thinking maybe moving interstate, like going to Melbourne, as the Americans say, when it's actually like Melbourne. But anyway, I was going to go there.
Really?
I was going to go there, and she's like, why don't you go to LA? And like, I was like, okay. And then I was on the immigration lawyer hotline the next day, and then like 6 months later, I'm here crying and self-harming. It's been great.
Just came to America and cut myself. The American
it's
dream.
great, yeah.
Coming to America
So
story.
that's, I've forgotten your question, but that was the answer to
How long you been here?
7 years. I could have just
Wonderful.
said that instead of the boring backstory about the immigration lawyer.
I loved it.
and
You know,
the
sometimes on the
speedo
show I wonder how we're going to fill an hour. And with
There
you,
you
I'm
go.
like,
I've got
how
lots of
should we
filler.
edit it down? This is perfect.
so much substance.
No, I think we could fill 2 hours. So you came to America from what part of Australia? Sydney.
It's the only part. The other
I was going to
parts are
say I
just
only know
made up.
2 cities in Australia.
What's the other one that you know?
Melbourne.
There's no such place. It's just Sydney.
Just Sydney.
And south of Sydney.
When I was looking up the classic song of the week, I was looking up Australian comedy songs too, because I thought I would make it about you, and then chose instead to make it about me. But there
alright.
were several songs about the deadly animals that you have in
I
Australia.
haven't written one. Like
Do you miss those deadly
I am
animals?
so phobic. I'm terrible. Because I usually go home at the end of the year, which is summer, the peak of our summer. And just, it doesn't matter how tidy you keep your place, just the cockroach infestations and the spiders, and they're ginormous. And I hate that. Oh, but they can't hurt you. It's like, how do you psychologically, they're hurting me. I hate
Their
that.
presence is
That's
hurting
going to,
you.
it's like saying to like someone, oh, you don't need to eat that. You've had enough. It's the same thing.
That reminds me, I should eat more cake.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever seen as far as, or the thing that sticks out when I think of Australian wildlife is this image I saw online of like earthworms, and the earthworms are like 2 feet long.
Are you
Like,
kidding
Yeah,
me?
Yeah,
everything is
even
big.
like even the non-threatening animals are like.
Why are
a
things bigger over
threatening
there?
size.
I think it's just the fresh air and lifestyle factor that makes things
Shut
healthier.
up! I'm eating processed cake.
They're so healthy eating.
Why are you guys so healthy? Well, your spider's
That's
so
why I had
big.
to
You'd
move
be a
here.
2-foot tube worm if you just laid off that cake.
Shut up, Shaun. It's my birthday. You take a question for a second.
For sure. Awesome. So, like, what were some of your inspirations when you started doing music? The people that you're like, ooh.
I love Janis Joplin. I loved all the blues singers. Ask me another blues singer, say what kind of blues
Ooh,
singers.
what kind of blues singers
Just-
specifically?
I don't know any others outside of Janis Joplin, but her, because my hair was long and I had a raspy voice. I can't give you specific names. I just know I like my favourite genre of music is easy listening of the 1970s. So that's a really big, like, Torn Between Two Lovers is one of my favourite songs. It's not based on anything that's happened in my life. And there's that one, and there's so many of that. Air Supply, a wonderful Australian band.
Do you like Carole King?
Lost in Love. Yes, Carole King is another lovely one. I love I listen to it at the gym, and I've got the walking at about 1.8 miles an hour, and it takes me about 7 hours to burn 20 calories. But that's what I seriously listen to
That
at
seems
the
so
gym.
counterintuitive because
Yeah.
most people are just like, I think those songs are like, boom, 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 boom,
No,
boom.
there's none of that. It's got to have a harpsichord and a acoustic guitar in it.
It's
Yeah,
a nice casual stroll
yeah,
on a
that's
treadmill.
jolly music. Yeah. So
That's
what
nice.
influenced me? Yes, the thing is, I started as my music career. I don't know how. I did a demo of probably songs like I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Has Gone, because that was big when I started professionally in about 1990 or 1991. And I actually got this job through a jazz booking agency. And every Sunday I had this great gig at this pub playing jazz songs. But of course, I didn't know any jazz songs. So I would just jazzify the songs that I knew. Like I remember singing, and don't it make my brown eyes blue? And I do like the extended version that I made up. So instead of the song being 2.5 minutes, the song would go for about 12, 13 minutes.
That's solid,
in
though.
my
You only need like 4 or
40
5 of them.
Like I had to wait for my brown eyes to turn blue. But then through doing that, I started to discover my comedic voice. I'd be riffing in between never used the word riffing before. That's not something that happens
Congratulations.
naturally in my vernacular.
Said
But
it very well.
yeah,
Yeah.
vernacular, riffing. So I was riffing in between songs, and then the song, the humour started to take over the Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue, and then I would start doing funny songs, and it kind of just happened like that, quite organically, in an inorganic kind of way. Yeah,
Inorganic way.
sustainable.
It's very
inorganic,
Australian,
fair
yeah.
trade way.
Organic
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, so it was fun. And then I started doing the one thing that I have struggled with in my 25-year career is I don't like being labelled as a musical comedian because because it's just comedy. It falls under the umbrella of comedy. And, I don't just do music. It's a part of me. It's a part of my act. It's a part of my limb. But I don't like getting pigeonholed.
That makes sense.
We're not going to
Yes.
pigeonhole you. We're going to put you in the women category.
I like
and
that.
Then we're going to put you
And then
in
you can put me in the
musical.
LGBTQI
Yes.
ETC
We'll
category.
put you as far into many
and then
categories.
we can find another subcommittee to vote whether I can
Invent
be
a
in
new
that
category.
one.
Someone needs a diversity show. You're going to be in all those folders.
The 2003 Kia Spectra cat identifying musical comedian.
Oh, I want a cat so bad. Back
well,
to cats.
good thing you.
Oh, that's good. What do you like to write about?
Me? It's not, as I said, I was very prolific in my 20s. The songs I write, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I write about other people's songs. I've got a song about being a songwriter, which is all about other people's songs. There's that song. And then I've written a rap song, which is quite contemporary.
Yeah. Why don't we hear your rap song?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to
okay,
hear them
here we
all.
go.
I want to hear
No,
everything that
okay,
you
here
can
we
tell
go,
us
here we go,
today.
Here we go. Here's my rap song. And we get that. And then we've established it's a rap song because I've done that. Here we go. If you want to do that, you'll have to slow it right down. Here. Okay, here we go. Look, I don't mind the beat, I don't mind the sound, but some of these raps that are going round, no, I won't say B and I won't say ho. As for the N-word, oh no, no, no. Unless it's noodles, Nutella or nectarines, but I'm not saying nuggets. No, that's too obscene. And now you stop and I do the chorus. I want a nice rap song about going to the mall. 'Cause there's variety and bargains galore. I want a nice rap song about sitting at the park and staying hydrated and feeding the ducks. And then we've got the second verse. Why do rappers want to make love to the police and have relations with their mothers and carry round a piece? And what's this obsession with your girlfriend's cat? The things you say you want to do to it, I hope that it can scratch. That's the rap song. Do you understand the reference to the girlfriend's cat? Because I can break it down if you need to.
She owns at least one cat, and then he's trying to hurt that cat in some way.
Why
So
does
you're
he
hoping
wanna
it
hurt
to
the
That's
cat?
not
defend
quite
itself.
the interpretation, but that was a good one.
I took it pretty literal as well.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, why does he want to hurt that cat?
That cat does need self-defense.
Is that
Oh,
is
like
a bad
like a
cat?
clawed genital.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
We're there now. We're there now. I love your choruses. I like your rap too. Why? Shaun has been trying to teach me on the side a little bit more about the hip hop world. So I think we should add it to the show each week, where he teaches us a few things about.
Two white women that identify as something or other with a Kia Spectra.
For
rap
sure.
Tutorials.
Well, I'm definitely the person that you call for the histories of raps.
I'm gonna say yeah. You seem really like urban.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I mean, in Australia, I bet you would be.
Eben.
You've got your hat backwards. I don't know.
That's it.
yeah. Well, our necks are prone to sunburn, so we do have a tendency to wear them the wrong way
Oh man,
or correct way.
that's the worst thing when I'm out and I forget that I'm wearing a hat and it is shiny and I'm like, oh,
You're-
that's what.
Turn
this
it
part's for.
around. So what can you teach us, Jackie and I today in our and I should probably come up with a musical piece to introduce this this segment of the show.
The most hip
Yeah.
hopinest guitar.
Learning something about hip hop, teach us something, Shaun. Now I got to remember to do that
cool.
next week. Okay,
Learning something about hip hop.
teach us something, Shaun.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
you got- no, let's try to get okay, because Shaun's gonna teach us. Learning something about hip hop, teach us something, Shaun.
Wow,
Yeah,
Cool.
we nailed it.
Nice. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Sorry, I ruined it because I forgot Sean's name and went, teach us something.
Just hit the.
One more time. Learning something about hip hop, teach us something, Shaun. Oh my God, she's the new co-host. Shaun, you're out. Jackie's
All right.
in.
We're just gonna keep collecting until there's like 15 of us. Like there'll be one guest and it's just all of us being like, tell me about your life. Cool. Yeah. No. I was thinking today. Basic beatboxing. Basic beatboxing.
Basic beatboxing.
Yeah.
Beatboxing 101.
Beatboxing uno a uno. So yeah, the first thing that I always teach people when it's beatboxing, there's three main sounds that pretty much all beats come down to.
This is actually really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm going to steal what you say from
Please
my act.
do.
so
I
can
stole it from
improve.
somebody else. I
Sure.
would gladly
Steal.
pass
Isn't that
the
what
steal
teaching
along.
is?
I think so.
Passing the steel.
Passing the steal.
Plagiarism.
Art of the steal. But yeah, so the three main sounds, like I like to think of beatboxing as sort of just like hard consonants, right? Most of it's just like do, choo, boo, crew. The
Like
three
cues?
that
That's a hard
I need
consonant
some
for me as
harder
a cue.
sounds. But yeah, so the three that I use are P, T, and K, or P, and K, right?
Again?
And K.
And.
Nice. So the P sound, if you're really wanting to over,
Oh,
if you really wanna
wow.
give it
Wow,
some
it's
kick,
a natural.
you want to bite down on it or like pinch down on it,
Oh,
right?
mine's
That-
weak.
The k is real hard.
So the K, normally if you have like a K sound, like when you say the letter K, it sort of closes off the top of your throat, like where the back of your mouth meets
It's
the
a
top of
weak
your
K.
It's a weak.
Sorry, Jackie. That's a
Oh.
weak
Throat.
K.
Well, the reason that is because
I
so
ain't
many
not
of the
being good
sounds-
at stuff. I can't cope.
Jackie, you suck at K's. You gotta work on your K's. Come back when you're better at K's,
Get out
Jackie.
of here! You need to have a solid K. But the reason that is because, you know, beatboxing is a wind instrument, right? So when you
Wait,
close
what?
Yeah. It's it's just brass.
I thought it
have a
was
lot
an
of little buttons
electronic
and
body
stuff.
instrument.
For sure. I open up my chest and there's just like a little alien DJing.
I really never thought of it that way. Somebody also told me the other day that a balloon was just a bag of someone else's breath.
Oh.
That struck me as odd.
And unappealing.
I know, but it's my birthday, and that was a message.
Hey.
Yeah, here's a bag of my breath.
breathed into all of
Contaminated
these for you.
oxygen is in there.
Never thought of beatboxing as a wind instrument.
Yeah. And so because of that, when you close off to make that like hard K sound, you limit your access to your air. And so what I do is I place it up a little bit higher in my register by thinking of like a KH sound, like you have in like key or
There's no H in key.
like, but that sort of like that key, that like breathy. Yeah. Or the other thing you can think of is like if you're pretending to be a cop and you have one of those like.
Oh, that's much better. I like to
Mine's
pretend to be.
still weak. my little thing's not working.
Oh, you gotta just
Test it.
But yeah, so you give it like instead of being like K down here, you put it up here like K with that little air bed underneath it. K. Yeah.
I'm not good at K's yet either.
That's
Can
right.
you?
It's the
Can we
hardest one.
rewind? How did you get the so boomy?
So that one, it's really about sort of like engaging like your diaphragm as well, and just. And so if you want to go mechanically, what we're doing, you just pinch down on your lips, and then you add a little bit more air to it after that. So volume is dictated by air. So if I'm going, I'm using a little bit of air, but if I go,
Wow.
I'm using a lot more air, and then if I engage my diaphragm, it becomes.
Oh, I did too close to the mic.
It's just little lady puffs.
Yeah.
That should be your rap group.
Yo,
The Little Lady
my
Puffs.
name's DJ Lady Puffs.
Little Lady Puffs.
Little lady puffs.
That's how I got 3 beats. That's
Yeah,
it.
and then the T sound is just the word T, right? T, 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 T. But then you let go of that pronouncing the E, you still keep the facial structure, so it's T, 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 T.
What if your face wants to pronounce the E sound?
That's okay.
Can Australians beatbox? Have you done the research?
Oh, there's some amazing
Yes.
beatboxers.
All right.
Yes.
I'm just
Once
checking. I want to
again-
make sure we're not
Oh,
asking.
actually, my third cousin, Jared, if you're listening. Actually, I think he's my fourth cousin. He does beatboxing. He's also a comedian. I should talk about him on my spot and my time because he's a 20-year-old male and he needs more.
Oh,
he's-
no
he's
competition. Beatboxing
No, but he's an
comedian.
amazing beatboxer.
What is a fourth cousin to you? Like, how do you?
Okay, here we go. I'll break it down for you. So my mother. Okay, you do that, and
Yeah.
I'll do. We can do a song about. You see, my mother. She has a cousin who's her cousin, which makes it her first cousin, and then they have an offspring, which makes my mother that person's second cousin, and then that person had a thing, and then a thing that's really good, another cousin,
Doesn't
which
gender
makes
identify.
it second cousin, third cousin, and then because I'm not the original cousin in the running order, it becomes my fourth cousin. So there you go. That should be on Wikipedia. That explanation because it's so specific
So
and
much.
concise. Yeah.
But yeah, it's,
That was very good. Fuck. Oh, I mean, ow. I'm so good. So
Wow.
frustrated.
It's just part of beatboxing. Sometimes sounds come
make
out.
it
A little
sound
bit
like
better.
farts.
you can also think of the word
Damn.
like poo, like,
Poo. Poo.
and then the same thing with the T. where
It's
you,
the bottom lip.
Yeah.
You're pushing through the bottom lip.
There it is.
You learned me something.
I learned
and
it
I
today.
just touched you inappropriately, so.
No, you grant a wish now. But yeah, so with those three
Wait, you
sounds-
touch someone inappropriately, they get to grant a
Yeah,
wish?
it's like rubbing a genie lamp.
Okay.
But yeah, so with
Tell
those
that to
three
my
sounds-
creepy uncle.
Right. I wish.
I got a lot of wishes to make.
But yeah, so with those 3 sounds, like I can make a variety of different beats, right? The one that you tend to know, Boots and Cats, the one that most people know. I break
Explain
down
it to her. She's
Oh.
looking at me because I
Oh,
like that
I
there's
know.
cats in it. But
So the
no.
phrase "boots and cats" has
Boots
enough
and
of
cats
the
and boots
consonants
and
in
cats
it
and
that if you said it really fast,
boots
it's
and
like
cats and boots and cats and
Boots and cats and boots and cats and
boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
oh,
That was
nice,
good.
nice,
We
nice.
should release that.
So yeah.
It'd go great in the hip hop community.
Boots and cats. You get like a really heavy like hip hop artist to go over it. Like, yeah. Casual. Yeah. What? Boots and
This
cats.
comes where the freestyle comes in. You gotta teach us how to freestyle too.
Freestyling? That's pretty easy. So there's a part of your brain that is looking for words at all times when you're freestyling. Like, and then you have to just be confident in the fact that like you have enough words and things that you know and pop culture references. Like you always have something to talk about. 'Cause
Like
it's in
Air
here.
Supply, talking about Air
Yes.
Supply, that would be a good current
Exactly.
popular reference.
Yeah, but it's also
The band Air
the
Supply?
Yeah.
band Air Supply.
Okay.
And then you go to the boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats, boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
All right. So I can apply that suggestion. Talk about air supply. Oh man, I got these things I'm gonna nail, bruh. I think they are a band from Australia. And if they're not, then I am just wrong. And it's okay, cause I'm just gonna keep singing songs. Yeah, my name is Shaun, I don't play a gong, and I'm not too high, never hit a bong. So when I go to just start to freestyle, I just go ahead and take a while and think of all the nouns and think of all the verbs, and eventually I come up with one word.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots
Puss
and
in
cats.
Boots.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and
Voiced by
boots and
Antonio
cats and
Banderas
boots
and
cats.
Shrek.
That's 2 words.
We gonna ruin our freestyle. I think,
Oh,
I think we're ruining this freestyle all on our own.
Oh, you're not familiar with the German family, the Butzenkens?
The Butzenkens.
The Butzenkatz.
My sister's maiden name was Butzenkens.
Oh, Hilda and Gustav Butzenkatz, you get in here now.
That's not a very. That's more of a country.
Rural dialect, that one, the German
Rural.
one. Rural dialect.
What do you prefer as your freestyle beat? Because usually you pick a different beat for your freestyles.
I mean, it really depends, right? Because there's so many different genres within.
Because I want to see if me and Jackie can freestyle. Because I'm
Oh,
bad
dope.
at it. I'm bad at it. I want to
Okay.
try. I want
I
to
can
Let's see.
confidently say I'll be bad at it too.
Okay, good.
So with new
two white
freestylers.
ladies over 35 trying to
Love-
freestyle
That's
for
the target
nearly the first
hip-hop
time.
market.
All right. So what do we need to look for when we're trying to freestyle? Except for we just
First things first, because you're new, don't immediately jump into the next sentence after the first one. Give yourself a little bit of pause in between. So if it's like, all right, I'm going to say a word.
Something that's a word.
And then I'm
She
going
wanted to jump in.
Right,
Yeah.
because you're inspired to
Yeah.
just like go and go and go.
So we're supposed to wait a minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
give yourself a
okay.
little bit of time, because essentially that brain muscle is going like, here's the word you want to say, here's something that rhymes with it. And now that you got that together, what does that make you think of? And what does that rhyme with? What does that make you think of? And what does that rhyme with?
This is a
I'm going to
lot.
so destroy and ruin
This
this.
is terrible. This is
Sounds
gonna
like
be-
a great
this is gonna be
concept.
terrible.
Destroy in hip hop though is a good thing.
Oh, it's a
You're gonna
positive
destroy.
terminology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like we're sick or ill or something.
Yeah,
And
or
those are
like
good
when
things
comedians
too.
kill.
I'm feeling ill and sick right now.
feeling ill and
I'm feeling
sick.
really ill and sick right now. Let's do it.
So cool. I'll do a pretty simple beat. And then do you guys want a word suggestion, or you just want to go off?
Oh yeah, let's ask the audience. I know we usually have just a handful of viewers every week because we do this. We live stream this on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Songs in the Key of Funny. This week we've got our guest Jackie Loeb.
She was really
in the
good
studio.
prior to you tuning in. She's great.
She's been killing it up here. She's been
Yes.
freestyling like you wouldn't believe. I couldn't believe that she was a white lady from Australia, just throwing down.
Just close your eyes.
sick
You won't even be able to
lyrics.
tell.
So anyway, if the audience has any suggestions for what we should freestyle about for our freestyle today,
Well, we've doubled our YouTube viewers this week.
we have more people are tuning in this week, double the amount of YouTube viewers
Yeah.
than last week because Jackie, I think it's Jackie.
Yeah.
It has to be, because that's the only difference.
That's
I'm
the only.
trying to be-
It's not because it's my
I'm
birthday.
trying to be modest, but I can't help but say yes, that's the reason.
I don't think you should be modest at all. Your sick guitar playing makes
I
me
am
want
good,
to
I'm
leave
good.
the stage and
No,
go
you're,
watch
no,
from the
you're
back.
wonderful. Because normally, this sounds terribly sexist. I have this internal sexism, and that's absolutely fine. But normally, like, you go to these open mic nights, and there's these young girls, and they're like, "Oh, my husband, he works at Home Depot, and he plays sport." A lot of the songs are like that. So to hear you play,
Barb books her. Yeah,
you're
she's-
an
I've seen
amazing
her before.
player. You're lovely.
you.
Great player.
Thank you. I like to
know
play.
it was possible to play off key.
No, it is.
Oh, yeah, Barbara's our producer, Roxy the Fox back there. I call her Roxy the Fox. She's learning to play the guitar. She took a lesson, and she's learning things, and she's getting quite good. She's told me.
Wow.
So do we have any suggestions for our freestyle?
Actually, we do.
And it's not going to be a battle. It's just going to be this one's going to be the see
Two
who if we
ladies
can
enter.
finish.
Somebody did their research on Kristin Key, and they're asking for you to freestyle on kittens.
Kittens.
All right, my brain's going. What rhymes with kittens? There's mittens.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
almost like
no.
it's almost like one of those things where it's like the back end of the word is staying, and like the front letter is just rouletting through the whole entire alphabet.
Okay. So you want to go first? You want me to go first? I'm playing an E just because I'm nervous. See, we're trying to do two things at once already, but I think we'll feel better.
Brain is going to explode.
make a rap about kittens.
Good job.
Gotta put on my freestyle mittens. I don't know much about little cats, but they're way cuter than vampire bats.
Oh, I thought you were going to dance. That's on me.
I really want to have a kitten today, but my wife's allergic. That's all I gotta say about kittens.
Gotta say about kittens. I'm going to rap about kittens. Because with kittens, well, this lady here is really smitten. I don't care if they think it's wrong. Because Kitten's Baby was the inspiration for this rap song. Judge me, say whatever you like. I'm a kitten lover and I'm a dyke.
I wish I had a little kitten in my bed. I'd scratch a little kitten on his little kitten head. Then I'd give a little kitten little kisses on his little kitten nose and his little kitten whiskers. I'd grab it by his little kitten tail and I'd take my little kitten and I put it in kitten jail. That's another name for its crate. I put it in its eyes so it won't pee on my face. This rhyme got kind of weird, but that's because I like kittens and that's all I got to say about kittens.
Gotta say about kittens. Kittens. Please don't make me do another verse, please.
Verse 2.
Okay, here we go. Am I doing another verse?
Sure, if you want to.
There's something about kittens that warms my heart. Although I really don't like the smell of their farts. I love how they're fluffy and oh so soft.
So soft, so soft.
I want to live with one in a New York loft.
Manhattan kitten.
Then we could go to the theatre and see, what's that play?
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah, I believe it's absolutely fabulitin.
Cause we're talking about kittens. We're talking about kittens. There was a rap about kittens. That's all we gotta say about kittens.
Can I tell you an unfunny, self-deprecating story about what we
Please.
just did?
Yes.
Well, I was.
By the way, that
booked-
was fabulous.
Yeah, that was
That
amazing.
went so
Well
much
done,
better than
both
I
of
thought
you.
it was
Yeah,
gonna
that
go.
was actually quite good. I was
Yeah.
quite good. Yeah, it was good.
Really good.
And it was fun. It was
Yeah.
actually fun because
We're gonna do this every week now. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
You were the test guest, by the way. You were.
Guinea pig,
If
the
it
guinea
didn't go well
kitten.
with you, we were gonna cut it
Cut it.
forever.
Oh, there you
This
go.
was
I'm
our
the
one-day
benchmark.
test.
That's scary when I'm the benchmark. I just moved to a beautiful country. I always preface everything with beautiful country. And I was in LA and I had some friends who were doing this improv show in Vegas. Now I improvise in my act and, I improvise in life, but I'm not like an improv, that's not my thing where I've gone to UCB for 107 years and gone to level 47 and spent $87 million doing that. I've done one term and it's on my CV and that's that. And so I was like, oh, I could do that. That sounds like so much fun. I'll come to Vegas and do improv. And the thing I thought would be good at was that we had to do the song. So they take suggestions from the audience. Okay, what's a occupation? And someone would call out plumber. Okay, and where do they live? And blah, blah, blah. And then we'd have the backing track. It was the same backing track. It was a heart song. I can't remember what the song was. And I was so bad at it, like so abysmally, disgustingly, shamefully bad. So what I'd try and do is I would try and construct as much of the song as I possibly could, leaving out, omitting the occupation and where they're from. So I'd have all the song already gone, and then just leaving the last word so it could rhyme with plumber. But the problem that happened was not when people would call out things. Didn't make sense, and not everyone in the room was a plumber
Right.
from
Can I get
Idaho.
a plumber-based suggestion, please? Can I get
This
an
is
Idaho
killer.
plumber-based
Plumber Idaho
suggestion?
song.
It was so, and one of the producers like, no, you have to no, they weren't American. You have to actually make the song up. I was like, oh, that's not how it works. Sorry.
The The Idaho suggestion just came in. It's the potato plumber.
A potato plumber?
Potato plumber.
I think that's a farmer.
Potato.
I think they're called farmers as well.
Potato plumber. Bread crumber. I'm going to stop.
Dumber.
Bummer.
Bummer.
That's a bummer. That
Crummer.
they
Summer.
Potato. Does anything
Strummer.
rhyme with potato?
Christian Slato.
Tomato.
See, I think that's the kind of stuff I would do in
Well,
our
that's what he
improv
said.
club
That's what
show.
the very first time I had him on the show before he became the co-host, because it was. But that's what.
Destiny.
Yeah, it was more. It's more about making things rhyme than it actually rhyming, not overthinking it, and just because he did a rap that was just sounds, and I was like, that's really fun because it wasn't real words.
Yeah.
It was just like. And you're like, yeah.
That's another thing I would do to disguise how terrible I was at. Like, so we'd be on the Vegas stage and I'd do all this vocal improvisation over what I was already singing, so they would just be listening to my voice,
Just
saying,
scatting.
"Oh, she's got a nice voice," and they wouldn't be listening to what I was actually singing about.
Plumber.
There's an art form to being bad.
Oh man. Well, it's definitely like I think you have a little bit more leniency in rap because one, so many people can just make up words.
Yes.
Like it was that kind of thing where like Snoop Dogg for a while was just like izzle, 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 izzle. And now
Shizzle fizzle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to the clizzle with all of my pizzles. And it's like, well, club and people don't rhyme normally, but okay.
But when you izzle a word, it
Yeah.
rhymes with lots of
But then and
lizzles.
Kanye is also somebody that does this a lot too. Like he has a song where the lyric is like sophomore, 3 years, hasn't picked a career, but the way he says it is like sophomore, 3 years, hasn't picked a career.
Oh yeah, when I'm writing songs, if I have a really wordy song, I'll use phonetics instead, like cadences rather than
Yeah.
the actual rhyme of it.
I just use rhymezone.com.
I use that all the time. And then near rhymes.
Near rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. on
Yeah.
Rhyme Zone.
Near rhymes and synonyms, they're quite
Yeah, they
useful
keep
too.
you-
'Cause
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I
keep you
can't
safe.
find anything that rhymes with the word hurt. So I know what I'll do. I'll find a word that means hurt.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sad, and then I can rhyme it with bad.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
For
Because you
sure.
get stuck in a rhyme trap. You're like, then I need to take that word out.
Yeah. Well, and if you could do
That
the
song about oranges went nowhere.
thing, door hinges,
Oh, that's true.
porch singes.
Maybe I'll put the orange song back in the mix.
We got it. We'll do it. But yeah, if you can, I think the key of freestyling is just recognizing that you just have to go at it like 2 bars at a time, just one rhyming couplet, and then if you can like thematically or like through the story or
You
what
lost
you're
me at
talking
thematically.
about. Oh, sorry. If you can just do the story, if you can keep the story going, and that's the focus instead of just like word puns, I think it's easier to actually like get the next idea to come out.
Are you one of these intellectual types?
I hope I
You have a
am.
lot of technique. Like
Thank you.
That was really. You talked about the physiological thing, the biology of making
Yeah.
those sounds. It was so impressive, and you
Thank
talked
you.
about the diaphragm, and now you're talking about other things. And it's actually
Big
very
words.
interesting. Big words.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Stop by hip hop and teach us something, Shaun.
Doo-doo. I need.
that
I
it? Was that
should,
it?
like,
What was
rap
that?
Was that your intro music? I was trying to think of what it was.
Oh, it was definitely like da 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 da.
Yeah. Learning stuff about hip hop. Teach us something, Shaun. Yeah, learning
We can
stuff
go
about
back and check the
hip-hop.
tape.
Teach us something, Shaun.
Is there another original by you that we would like to go with?
I want to hear you play the guitar all
Oh,
day,
okay,
but
well-
yeah, I want to hear some more originals.
Oh, okay. Well, you've got your choice. You could have.
Choose your own ending.
Because
Choose
it's
your
the
own
same.
ending, but
It's
not
the
the
same
ending.
chord progression. There's a song called "I Want to Text Message You While I'm Driving."
Yes!
Or you can have "I've Got Limited Social Skills."
Ooh,
Okay, I want to text.
text
I-
message
Okay,
driving.
text message.
There's, I mean, just
Okay.
before we get into it, just to have the conversation,
Sure.
do you do a lot of bad things while you're driving, such as text message?
I listen to K-Earth 101. That's about the worst thing I do. And
Really?
94.7
The way.
Okay, I stream
Yeah.
Netflix almost everywhere I go, so I'm gonna really enjoy this song.
Okay, so this is not to encourage. I'm looking out to the audience. This is not to encourage people. So it's a technology-based love song, and I hopefully will remember the words. I wanna text message you while I'm driving. I wanna tell you you are a cutie. And if you take me on a D8, you won't be sorry. 'Cause 'cause everybody knows that I'm easy. American spelling, easy. I wanna text message you while I'm driving out. I wanna tell you CUL8R. I wanna tell you all that I LU. And I really, really wanna procreate 7. Can't see the keys. Procreate. I killed a family of 3 when I text you. Hello, just me. And I ran over an old man 'cause I was driving with no hands. I crashed into the car and Fredo, mobile, don't be dead. And now the car's a total wreck. Why did I do that last spell check? I wanna text message you while I'm dying. I wanna tell you I mightn't be seeing you. And if you want the money back that I owe you, you better hurry up and join the queue. All my songs have very anticlimactic endings. I can never figure out
What are you
how
talking
to
about? You
end them.
died.
Yeah.
Well, I died, but then that's true.
Other than that whole dying thing.
My theatre, my
Yeah.
movement teacher in my theatre course would call that a collapsed ending, and I tend to agree with her on that one.
I like that one. No, I like that.
Yeah, you died.
I
died
like
in the
dark
end.
songs, and I feel like a comedy song has to go somewhere dark to keep the comedy going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are scientists. You know about theories and why things work.
Yeah.
I just want things to rhyme.
And
Did you
all
guys
rhyming
feel
songs.
that? Was that a little earthquake that we had?
I
Well, Jackie was.
Was my lower register?
I don't think so. Was there? Did we have an earthquake?
Yeah, you didn't feel that glitch for a second?
I heard something, but I thought it was you rapping. I thought it was the feedback.
beatboxing or something.
Oh, if we
Ooh.
had an earthquake and I
That's
missed it, it's because I'm
wild.
really into your guitar playing.
That's very wild.
I like your guitar playing
like
to
your guitar
represent that you're
playing.
dying.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, with
really-
the
yeah, that was
I can show you how to
good.
do it. Just bending the notes.
Well, yeah, I just would have never thought to use it to represent, human death in a car accident.
Pain.
So, when did you pick up the guitar for the first time?
Oh, I was probably very young. I was probably about
nostalgic
7 or something. I would say about 7. I come from a very musical family. My sister played guitar. She still plays. She's very good. And my mother was,
Who's better, you or your sister?
well, she's better at, say, playing classical guitar, and I probably have more experience playing because I play more than. She's also a kindergarten teacher, so she
Aw.
plays beautiful songs to the kids. But she's very good. But she doesn't have the she's not a. Well, she's very funny, but she's not a comedian, so she doesn't have the time that I have to
Right,
practice.
we do have
and
quite a bit of free
practice,
time. I play about an hour a
yes,
day
yeah.
for no reason.
So that happened, and I've always played. And when I got to about the age of 13 or 14, I thought I would have some lessons at school before school, but that involved getting up an hour
Oh, yeah.
earlier. So that didn't last very long. And I found as soon as it became a learning exercise, it ceased to be fun. And that also happened with piano lessons too. I had piano lessons when I was about 7, and I used to play by ear, and I still
Yeah.
play by ear, but then there was notation put in front of me, and I can't concentrate for that long, and so that stopped being fun.
Relatable.
And then I play the drums as well. I picked up the drums when I was about 14, and I
Almost
used
got
to,
our band.
I used to have these guys come over. I don't know how I found them. There was this is before the internet. It was probably like some free music publication. And they were in their late 30s, early 40s. I was like 15, and I'd have these middle-aged men over at my house every
pulling up the
Saturday.
garage door.
And I remember there was he was into kind of easy listening of the 70s. At the time, I wasn't into easy listening of the 70s back then. But they're the songs I wanted to play. So we had a conga player, and then we had the guitarist and me on drums. And then I don't know what happened, but we didn't get any gigs, and then it stopped being fun. But
Couldn't get into any of the clubs.
I had a drum kit in my bedroom from the age of about 14 to about 22. And then I had to sell it. I had to sell them because I had a half sister. That's it. That's the jump. I had to give up the drum room so my half sister could have somewhere to sleep.
Oh, selfish.
No, that actually wasn't the reason. The reason was actually I was coming to America not to live back then, but just for a vacation, and I needed some extra money for snacks on the plane.
Oh no.
So my stories go absolutely nowhere.
You sold
I
your
start
drum
start them with such enthusiasm and commitment, like this is going to be a great story, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
You should start lying at the end.
I-
And all of them
well,
should
I do
involve,
that
and
in
then I got a kitten.
kid.
You know, I'd be like, that's another great story. Was it always an electric guitar? Or did you start on an acoustic?
No, I bought a Yamaha guitar. It was like $200, which is a lot of money back then. And
Define
it still
body.
is.
Body.
Define what?
Body.
Body?
Body.
Yamaha guitar?
Body.
I never said
Body?
body.
Like a
Oh,
body?
what did you say?
It had a thin body?
Thin body.
Thin body.
I thought you said
Like
I had a body Yamaha guitar. I was like, is that an Australian
Oh, I
word?
had a guitar, a $200
Thin
guitar.
body. Thin
and
body
then,
Yamaha guitar.
And then when I got my little...
I thought you were speaking Australian.
I was like, you're. Also, why would I be the person to know Australian slang?
You're smart. You're wearing glasses.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's true. Oh,
Okay.
I keep them on the inside rim.
Thin body Yamaha.
Are they functional glasses? They have the glass in them?
They are.
They do, okay.
Oh man, I hate those people who are like, these are just. I
For
wear these
show.
for show. I'm
Should
like,
they
I can't see without
They
these.
frame my baby face.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a baby face.
They give me some level of authority. Without them, people are just asking me where my mom is.
Where is your mom?
How are you out by yourself? Do you need to hold, I'll hold,
She's
I'll walk
across
you to your
the
car.
street at the Starbucks.
She'll be right back. So you had a thin body
I
Yamaha
had
guitar.
an acoustic guitar, and then when I got my gigs to being a jazz singer singing "Don't Wanna Make My Brown Eyes Blue," I had a pickup put in it, and then it sounded horrible. And then I moved to an electric guitar because I think it was because I'm quite top heavy, and it's just easier, ergonomically better for me to play an electric guitar that's not to be self-deprecating. It just sits so much better.
Yeah.
Whereas a wider guitar like you're playing,
Well, my
would-
boob just
would
falls
well,
out,
there's
but
that,
it's so
there's that-
small.
There's that
Yeah, mine's
technique.
just
I
one
do
no one
that.
notices.
Sometimes I put the guitar underneath for extra
Wow.
support.
Just like an extra supply.
There's things you have to think about.
I don't play without a bra.
Everyone pay
ever, I know
attention.
that.
So that's how, I saw this beautiful guitar and I bought it, and I'm not at all materialistic, but if I lost this, I would be quite upset.
I don't think owning it. That's to me, guitars aren't
But this
materialistic
is,
possessions.
no, but the thing is, I'm
Yeah.
not into, at one point I had about 4 guitars. I had my drums, I had a bass, I had a 4-track Tascam. Do you even know what that is, Babyface? Do you know?
Of course.
Yeah. So, I saw I have to bring this up because that was the funniest thing. So I was thinking about bringing some looping into my act, doing really, really bad looping, because it would be bad anyway if I
We
attempted
were
to do
just
it.
talking about that earlier.
And then I was watching, what's that? Summer camp with all those comedic actors, all those people. Started off as a film, then it went to a series. 10 years
Wet Hot
later,
American
Wet Hot
Summer.
American
Yeah.
Summer, and it's got the girl from Bridesmaid. I can't think of her name. The main girl from Bridesmaid.
Kristen Wiig.
Yes,
Kristen Wiig.
and she's got like a cassette player, and it's meant to be set in 1991, and she's trying to do the looping, and it's just the funniest thing. So I thought I'd reference that
I
film.
would love to see you do looping. How fun would that be?
So many people do it so well. In fact, I was here on the weekend, or whenever I was here, and there was someone doing looping. They're amazing. I thought, I can't top that. When someone's good at something, it's like, no, let them.
them do
I'll
it.
just do a silly
But if you're
dance.
funnier with it, or if you
It
take a
would be
different
fun.
spin on it.
It would be fun, but it's just another thing to bring in my car and to carry.
I'm not trying to talk you into it because I'm trying to talk myself into buying one. I'm like, no, here's why you should get it.
You get it, and
You're going
I
to be
can
great
come
at
over
it.
and we can-
Yeah, we could play. Oh, you
The
go over to my house and we could play looping.
That's
Or we
right.
could just probably play
You
video
buy
games.
it, and I'll come over, so I don't have to carry it in the car from the valley.
We'll get it for the show, and like we'll have a segment of you just being like, "How does this work?
meep, meep, meep.
There's
Yeah.
your song. How does this work?
How does this work?
How does this work? How does this work? How does this work? How does
Are we
this
still
work?
in E?
How does this work? How does this work? B. How does this work? How does this work? How does this work?
All right, I'ma hit it with my other hand. How does this machine work? I do not understand. I mean, it has so many buttons I can't comprehend. And I need to go and give it up to this guy in the back, 'cause he knows how to work it and get a track. And I know that he's so good he will attack it with the buttons. I'm next to nothing, and I can only do the vocal version of percussion.
How does this work? 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 How does this work?
Okay, I'll go. I didn't know, but that's okay, cause I'm a pro. I'm gonna show and display all the different ways that you can just play. First you hit the first one, and it's easy like an alley-oop. That's how you go and set up your first loop. So if it's something like you hit it, then it's gonna go. And then the second loop is coming in, and then it's the one that you need to do and just begin. At the second time, the second line, you do it wrong and it will sound just like a crime. It will be hold on, I got this. Wait, no, I pressed the third button. I pressed the third button. I pressed the third. Hold on, I pressed the third. Gotta turn that. I'm really sorry. I don't know. How does this work?
How does this work? How does this work? How does this work? How does this work?
Wow, that was inspired.
Now I want one too.
What was going? So when you first started, there's so many things I want to know, and we're not running out of time. But we're getting to
Blue
the end.
Kittens, mother, 25. They're my answers to your question.
Wow, this is exciting. I'm gonna blow my Rorschach test.
What 4 words describe the worst experience of your life?
Blue kittens.
Blue
something.
kittens, my mother. What was the first joke you ever told?
You know, what I could remember one was when Four Non Blondes had that. And I said, hey. I did a parody of that song. And it was about eating my boyfriend Bob, whom I discovered was cheating on me and whom I later killed and ate. The song's called I Wish I Was Bulimic So I Could Bring Back Bob. And I did that joke for about 20 years, and I thought, I can't be telling that joke anymore. I'm a little bit detached from
I
it.
killed Bob years ago.
So, and then I did a parody of it. And I said, hey. I changed the lyrics, and it was very silly, and it was funny for about the first 12 years, and then I put it to bed.
Got
I
a solid
stopped doing
decade
it.
out of
Yeah,
it.
but I
like
got
that.
a good 12 years out of that joke.
So, and I just because of something you mentioned earlier, do you have a lady or a fella at home?
I have a special someone, non-gender specific someone at home. who
We can all
identifies
just
as
use
a
our
cat.
imaginations.
I'm an objectum sexual.
Terrible.
I'm in love with objects.
I choose when I'm in and out of the closet. Like if I'm at a corporate gig, I have a husband called
Wouldn't
Craig.
you like
If
to
a husband's
know?
called
my
Craig.
husband Craig and my daughter Bonnie. She's a lovely girl. She's got learning disabilities and she's behaviour
Bonnie.
problems and all kinds of things. And she runs
How
away
does
from
this
home.
work? How does this work?
And so, but then I'm very vocal on Facebook at the moment because we have this big, horrible thing in Australia, which I know the people of the beautiful Americas have gone through about marriage equality to legalise same-sex marriage.
So
and there's
against
this
it.
horrible thing, referendum, and people bringing out homophobia, the worst horribleness because the government is allowing the public to have a say.
Right.
And when you give the public a voice, they quite enjoy being horrible. So I've been very vocal on Facebook about, I'm a member of the LGBTQI ECT community.
Wait. As a gay woman, you gotta tell me what some of those letters
Which
mean.
letters? I'm the L letter. But then
But
I
no,
can
what
also
are the LGBT? I got the Q.
lettuce,
then
grilled,
I.
lettuce,
I.
grilled, bacon,
Wait.
tomato, quinoa, incaberry, etc., etc.
We need to write a song about that
I think
at some
it's
point.
intersexual and asexual.
Intersex and the
okay.
Q is quinoa, queer.
Dinky dorme Wait, it's a different song.
Yeah.
So your question was, yes, I do have a very special someone in my life, and we're going to have our 20th anniversary very soon, but I don't know if I'll be in the country to celebrate with her, and that means that we'll make it to 21 years.
We had 11 and both forgot it, and it went by. And
Yeah,
someone was
we
like, "Happy
forgot it.
anniversary!" I was like, "Ah, shoot!"
Yeah, we forgot
Yeah,
it.
hit
I
that
remember we
next
forgot
year.
our 19th.
Yeah, maybe
19.
12. Maybe 12.
It's a long time to
I'll do
be
a dinner.
together.
That's
incredible.
It's a
20
long time.
years. That's a big deal.
And it's nice going out with the world. I mean, all this homophobia, we're performing a community service by doubling up, because there is a male shortage. So we're doing that, and it's practical. I can wear her clothes. She's
Are you the
gone-
same, relatively the
Well,
same
she's
size?
gone through menopause now, so I can't borrow other things from her. So I might have to trade her in for a younger version. But, you know, yeah, well, she's
Just to save
she's
money.
40,
The 2003
she's in her
Kia
early
spec.
50s, I think.
Okay.
I think. I know exactly how old she is, but I don't want to get in trouble.
I don't want to
wanna
come
get
out
in
as
trouble.
anything but, you know,
Here's all the
dismissive
numbers
partner.
that she's really insecure about.
So, yeah. And that's that. It's been fun.
Cool.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Do you have, we got time for one more if you want to play.
Oh,
I would
man.
love it if you could play
Oh,
us one more.
gosh. Let's see. On the list, we
Por
have
favor.
Limits Making It. Oh, I was going to do that on the piano, but we didn't have the piano.
Aw.
Tummy song, new rap song.
We have that little red
I've got-
piano down
I've got
front.
boring songs, like really non-comedic songs that I'm really bad at writing. And
Do
then
you wanna do another,
They in turn sound comedic. But whenever I try and write a serious song from the heart about emotions, about real things, it doesn't sound sincere. I like it when we make
Yeah,
up songs.
that
That's
makes
more
sense.
fun.
Make up a song. Let's
we
Barb,
try it?
we need one more suggestion, and we like the blues and E. We haven't
like
done
the
a blues
blues
and
and
E
E.
song
Ooh, let's do blues.
because she seems to have learned how to play the guitar all of a sudden. Do we have any suggestions from the internet, Roxy?
Knitting. Oh,
Roxy.
it's a bit like knitting.
Knitting. Well, I don't knit.
This is
This is for me. I'm a crocheter. I crochet. I don't knit. So I guess
Oh.
I can hate on some knitters, but I'm afraid
You better be very careful.
gotta be really careful.
Hit that T real hard.
Some people want me to sing a song. Want me to sing a song about crafts. I crochet all day. Wanna ask? I crochet with ease, but I say, knitter, please.
that was clever. People tell me, come on, girl, it's time to sew. I said I'd really like to, but I just don't know. I can't get the cotton into the eye hole. I better go now. It's something to do with hole. A knitter, I will never be. I'm gonna take it to the repair shop and just let things be.
Two needles, some yarn. Two needles, some yarn. Put them together. Got something to do on the farm, and that's what knitters do. That's what knitters do. Blankets and hats all day. Blankets and hats. I don't knit. I crochet, and then I quit.
Okay, so they tell me I'm not a real woman because I don't know how to knit. They tell me I'm not resilient and that I quit. They tell me that I should be able to mend my own clothes. They tell me all these horrible things. Oh God, heaven knows. Look, just because I can't repair my own clothes. Oh Lord, heaven knows.
Take it away, lady. It's so nice having you on the show. Make sure and check out Jackie Loeb. Where can we find you online?
At home. You can find me.
Here's my address.
Jackie Loeb Visuals on Instagram, or Jackie Loeb 71 at Twitter, which I never post anything there. Or you can find me on Facebook. I'm there. I have investment properties on Facebook. I'm there all the time, too often. Or Jackie Loeb channel. I post videos there.
Well, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you
show.
for having me. It's so much fun. Or Jackie Loeb
People at
channel,
home, I want
post
you to make sure and check us out on Facebook, Songs in the Key of Funny, YouTube, Songs in the Key of Funny. Subscribe to us on iTunes. As always, Shaun Fisher, and I'm Kristin Key. Thank you so Thank you for tuning into. People at home, I want you to make sure and check us out on
You
Facebook.
still nailed it. That was
Wow.
incredible. Jackie, that was
through with an
awesome.
echo.
That was so fun.
This was a great episode.